What does it mean to live a spiritual life in God? Ah, that question is like an all-you-can-eat buffet of profoundness, isn't it? It's layered, it's rich, and it's something that every single one of us can sink our teeth into. In a world that often feels chaotic, a spiritual life rooted in God can be our anchor. It's about finding purpose, connection, and fulfillment in our everyday lives. But how do we go about living that life? How do we cultivate a relationship with the divine that is not just a one-day affair, but a daily dance? Well, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the ocean of spirituality, swimming through the waves of practices, beliefs, and the sweet nectar of a life well lived. Living a spiritual life in God is like embarking on a grand adventure, one that invites you to explore the depths of your soul and the vastness of the divine. It's not just about going to church on Sundays or reciting prayers by rote. It's about building a vibrant, personal connection with God that breathes life into every moment of your existence. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of purpose, feeling that you are part of something much larger than yourself. That's the beauty of a spiritual life in God. It's a journey filled with meaning, joy, and profound transformation. First, let's unpack what a spiritual life in God really looks like. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of purpose, a warm embrace of peace wrapping around you like your favorite blanket. That's the essence of a spiritual life. It's not about following a rigid set of rules or attending church services just to check a box. No, it's about cultivating a relationship with God that is as dynamic and vibrant as you are. It's about walking in His light, feeling His presence in your day-to-day, and knowing that you are part of something much larger than yourself. So, what does it really mean to live a spiritual life in God? First and foremost, it's about aligning your thoughts, actions, and purpose with the divine will. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency so that you can hear the beautiful music of life clearly. You start seeking God's presence in your everyday activities, allowing His guidance to shape your decisions, your relationships, and even your dreams. It's a commitment to walk in His ways, to love Him with all your heart, and to serve others selflessly. When you make God the center of your life, everything else falls into place. It's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle that suddenly makes the whole picture come alive. Let's think about this for a second or two. Now, how do we actually live this spiritual life with God? It starts with intention. You've got to wake up each day and decide that you want to connect with the divine. It's like deciding to go on a road trip. You need a destination, and that destination is a deeper relationship with God. One of the best ways to begin this journey is through spiritual practices that help us cultivate that connection. Think of them as tools in your spiritual toolbox. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Spirituality isn't confined to religious dogma or rituals. It's about connecting to something greater than yourself, tapping into that universal energy that binds us all. According to a Pew Research Center study, a whopping 27% of U.S. adults identify as spiritual but not religious. That's a clear indication that the quest for meaning and connection transcends traditional boundaries. Spirituality is for everyone, regardless of your background or belief system. So, why does living a spiritual life matter? Well, let me tell you, it can foster a sense of peace that is hard to find elsewhere. When you cultivate a spiritual connection, you reduce stress, gain clarity, and find a guiding light in the midst of life's challenges. As Deepak Chopra wisely said, spirituality is not adopting more beliefs and assumptions, but uncovering the best in you. And isn't that what we all want? To uncover the best version of ourselves, to live authentically, and to experience the richness of life? If you're wondering how to be practical in your spiritual life with God, let's dive into the essentials. First, you need to understand that a relationship with God is built on a foundation of reverence and awe. It's about recognizing the vastness of the divine and walking in His ways. You can't just dip your toes in and expect to feel the warmth of the water. You've got to dive right in. Love is at the heart of this relationship, as emphasized in Matthew 22:37, where we're called to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind. It's an all-in kind of love. But here's the kicker. Serving God means using your unique gifts and talents to uplift others. It's about being the hands and feet of God in this world. And guarding His commands? That's simply staying steadfast in His word and teachings, allowing them to guide your actions and choices. Now let's talk about some spiritual practices that can deepen your connection with God. Obedience is key. Embracing God's will with humility and trust opens the door to a deeper relationship. Prayer is your direct line of communication with the divine. It's like having a heart-to-heart chat with your best friend, sharing your joys, fears, and hopes. It's your way of communicating with God, sharing your thoughts. And guess what? You don't need to use fancy words or elaborate phrases. Just talk. Pour your heart out and let God in on your life. Worship is another powerful practice. It's not just about singing hymns on a Sunday. It's about living your life as an act of worship. Whether you're whipping up a meal, helping a neighbor, or simply smiling at a stranger, you're honoring God in your actions. Whether through music, acts of service, or simply expressing gratitude, worship is a beautiful way to connect with the Creator. Fellowship is equally important. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community allows you to grow in faith together. Think of it as your spiritual cheerleading squad. And don't underestimate the power of searching the Scriptures. Those sacred texts are filled with wisdom and guidance that can illuminate your path. Meditation, too, is a wonderful practice. Taking time to reflect on God's Word and allowing His presence to fill your spirit can be transformative. On the other hand, meditation is about quieting the noise around you and tuning into the still, small voice of God. It's a chance to reflect, recharge, and reconnect. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to breathe deeply and center yourself. Now, let's explore how these spiritual practices can lead to a fruitful life with God. When you engage in these practices, you nurture inner peace and clarity, helping you define your purpose in life. Did you know that people with strong spiritual lives report higher levels of happiness and resilience? That's not just a coincidence. It's the power of spirituality at work. Let's talk about building a relationship with God. It's not just about saying, "Hey God, what's up?" It's about cultivating a connection that is rooted in love, respect, and commitment. To build this relationship, you need to fear Him, not in a scary way, but in a way that acknowledges His power and majesty. Walking in His ways means aligning your actions with His teachings. Love Him with all your heart, and serve Him by being the hands and feet of the Creator in a world that desperately needs it. Guarding His commands is about creating a life that reflects His values and principles. And let's not forget the emotional and mental benefits. Prayer and meditation have been shown to reduce anxiety and improve mental clarity. When you engage in acts of worship and cultivate gratitude, you strengthen your emotional resilience. It's like building a fortress around your heart that can withstand life's storms. But what about relationships? Spirituality has a magical way of fostering empathy, understanding, and love in our connections with others. As the saying goes, the closer we are to God, the closer we grow to each other. When you cultivate a spiritual life, you naturally become more compassionate and loving, enriching your relationships in ways you never imagined. Now, you might be wondering, can I live a spiritual life without religion? Absolutely. Spirituality knows no boundaries. It's about personal growth, mindfulness, and connecting with the universe in your own unique way. You don't have to subscribe to a particular doctrine to discover meaning and purpose. It's about introspection, gratitude, and love, elements that are universally accessible. If you're new to spirituality, start small. Incorporate practices like journaling, mindfulness meditation, or simply connecting with nature. Cultivate gratitude by listing your daily blessings. You'll be amazed at how these little shifts can transform your perspective and enrich your life. And let's not forget our youth. Encouraging mindfulness exercises, volunteer work, and creative outlets like art or music can instill a sense of spirituality that lasts a lifetime. Introduce them to scripture or philosophical texts that resonate with their curiosity and values. The world is their oyster, and you can help them discover the pearls within. So, what are the benefits of living a spiritual life? Well, studies show that individuals who engage in spiritual practices often experience lower levels of anxiety and depression. They report higher levels of happiness and fulfillment. When we align ourselves with a higher purpose, we tend to make better decisions, cultivate healthier relationships, and contribute positively to our communities. Now, let's get practical. Here are some powerful spiritual practices you can cultivate in your daily life. Start with daily prayer. Begin and end your day by connecting with God. It's a beautiful way to bookend your day with intention and reflection. Gratitude journaling is another fantastic practice. Take a moment to reflect on your blessings and the moments of joy that fill your life. Meditation is a game changer. It helps deepen your awareness of God's presence and allows you to find stillness amidst the chaos. And remember, service is an act of worship. Serving others selflessly not only uplifts those around you, but also enriches your own spirit. Acts of service is a great way to connect with the above on a deeper level, but with the below. It goes without saying, serving others serves you. Acts of service provides a sense of peace and satisfaction, fulfilling God's will on the earth. The act of doing for others with no expectation of thanks, reimbursement, or recognition leads to feelings of accomplishment and appreciated spiritual stewardship. Fasting can be a powerful way to align your body and spirit through intentional self-discipline. Reading the scriptures offers wisdom and guidance. Immerse yourself in holy texts and let them illuminate your path. And don't underestimate the power of fellowship. Engage in spiritual discussions and group activities to foster community and growth. Finally, take those nature walks. Connect with creation to feel closer to the Creator. Nature has a way of grounding us and reminding us of the beauty and wonder of life. As we wrap up this exploration of a spiritual life in God, remember that this journey is one of connection, purpose, and growth. Whether you're rooted in faith or exploring spirituality in your own way, it invites you to align with values that transcend daily challenges and build a life of meaning. In conclusion, living a spiritual life is not a destination. It's a journey. It's about waking up each day with the intention to connect with God, to love and serve others, and to reflect His light in the world. So, I challenge you, take a step today. Whether it's through prayer, a kind act, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the beauty around you, embrace the spiritual journey that awaits you. So, I encourage you to start your spiritual journey today. Whether you're seeking to deepen your relationship with God or explore spirituality in your own way, commit to just one practice this week. Share your experiences in the comments, and let's inspire each other on this incredible journey of discovery and fulfillment. Together, we can cultivate a world filled with love, purpose, and connection. Let's walk this spiritual path hand in hand,